Tonight, ABC 57 investigates the impact of all the ongoing economic development in New Carlisle on its neighbors. Amazon's $11 billion data center is under construction there, and GM is building a $3.5 billion EV battery plant right off State Road 2. Now, NDOT is planning a new interchange there to make the road safer, but it's also going to cost some people their homes. ABC 57's Annie Kate is live in studio with her exclusive special report. Annie?
Brianna, what is the price of development? It's an important question, and after talking with some neighbors near the largest developments coming to our area, I learned the price for a few select families is displacement.
And I'd wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares. You know, I was having dreams of bulldozers waiting outside of the house.
Hi! How are you?
I'm good. Come on in.
This is John Miller, who lives just off State Road 2.
Grew up here, graduated, here went to prom here. I mean, just my whole life is around this house.
Right next to the new developments coming in, including a General Motors battery plant and Amazon Web Services data center.
Well, I kind of thought it was really kind of neat. I didn't really probably absorb the scope of it until they actually started building.
And about a year ago, he learned.
And he said, we are all going to have to move. And all of our mouths just kind of dropped.
Miller and his neighbors need to move to make way for an expanded State Road 2, a diamond interchange with off-ramps.
It's basically right in here.
His question, though, is when does he need to leave his home?
I'm just waiting to hear something, and I just kind of would like to get on with life and get moved, and because all of this property is going to be bulldozed.
Lived here all my life. I grew up right down the road 3/10 of a mile and bought this house 17 years ago.
This is Miller's next-door neighbor, Stan Mihalski, who says despite not being a fan of the developments in this part of the county, he feels the changes were inevitable, and his move a matter of time, though he wishes it wasn't.
I always thought I was going to be on the outside of it. I didn't think it was ever going to get as close to me as it is. As far as packing, I'm kind of looking for a house, but what if, but until I hear anything from the state, I'm just going to sit right here and wait.
We are empathetic to the property owners that live there. It's, they've known for a long time that this is coming, but again, it's when is it coming? And so now we know that we will be starting this process.
I confirmed these plans with St. Joseph County Economic Development Director Bill Shalliel.
So we've been studying intersection improvements at this intersection since really 2018.
At least 5 houses are affected, and Shalliel says they will work to come to an agreement with the homeowners.
All I do is pray that just give me enough for a new house.
If that fails, they could use eminent domain to forcibly acquire the property.
But in this particular case, there has to be a public purpose, and the public purpose here would be the improvement of the intersection and the roadway improvement.
When I was talking to them, they were expressing that they feel they're in limbo, that they were told last year to start packing up and that they had to be out by Labor Day. Then they had to be out by November, and those deadlines just came and went. What was really going on there and what's going on now?
Yeah, so the county at that time was going to buy through a different process.
The project was originally going to be federally funded, he says. Now it will be state funded, changing the whole process, explaining the limbo these homeowners are feeling.
Yeah, so for a period of time, the county was told that it couldn't talk to the property owners. Now that it's a state process, there's a new set of requirements of how it's bought.
It has to be very difficult to decide when a project is important enough that it requires some displacement. How do you justify it? How do you make those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, in this case, here's the intersection. This is the crossroads of the development corridor, and so this is where the improvement needs to be made. So that's how we have to look at those. We have to look at the bigger picture for the public good and how that all fits together.
Oh, I thought I'd die here. Unfortunately, I had to move.
This is another one of the affected property owners, John Mott, who already moved out of his home of 57 years.
I didn't want to move to begin with, but I moved because they said that it had to be done.
Rather than fight it, he says he and his family decided the almost 80-year-old shouldn't live near such traffic and construction anyhow.
Last summer they told us to be out of here by either late fall or early spring. And here it's been over a year and they've done nothing.
And how do you feel about that?
You don't want me to say.
The other two neighbors are frustrated.
You know, there needs to be communication, and there hasn't been any.
It's just waiting. I think that's probably the hardest part, is the waiting.
As the waiting game plays out, crews continue building just next door.
We knew that we wanted to bring in big users and big project sites, things like that. We didn't anticipate so many would happen all at the same time. So the construction complications, they're real.
It's just one of those things, you know, progress, I guess. That's what they claim it is anyway, so whether it is or not, I don't know.
They're trying to get, big companies to come into this area, and I think it's good for everybody. But again, everybody's going, well, New Carlisle's just not going to be the same. It's going to be hard, but it's just one of those things. You don't really want to stand in the way of progress.
Now, Shaliel tells me the ball is getting rolling on this Diamond Interchange project. It should be completed by the end of 2027. Now, this means the homeowners here should get an offer for their properties in the next few months. In studio, Annie Kate, ABC 57 News.